The fastest way to make your body kill visceral fat. I'm gonna show you how to fast forward your transformation, going from 30% to 10% body fat quickly. And if you do this right, you'll be able to achieve 0% visceral fat. Now, I've done this myself 5 times in the last decade, and 2 of those 5 transformations happened in as little as 60 to 90 days. Now, here's what most doctors won't tell you. There are 5 visceral fire techniques that kill your visceral fat permanently. It's sustainable and it's a science-based approach, but don't get me wrong. It is simple in theory, but difficult in practice, and this video is to show you the techniques of how to execute them. The exact techniques I've given to my client Kunter, Brian, Robbie, even my client Thomas, who saw this transformation in 8 weeks, and he had all the tools, the saunas, the ice baths, red light therapy, the nutritionist. Until he did this, he was finally able to achieve his dream physique. Now, my name is Michael Diamonds. I'm a scientist with degrees in biochemistry and microbiology. I am also a medical doctor, a pro natural bodybuilder, and some consider me your coach. A side note, you want to combine technique 1 and 2 to lose fat the fastest way. Now, let's not waste time and dive straight in. Technique 1 is the gut fire protocol, and I've called it that for 2 reasons. The first reason is this is the exact protocol, the exact amount you personally need to eat to light your gut fire and to kill the visceral fat. Reason number 2 is that it's the exact foods you need to eat to kill both your visceral and subcutaneous fat. So let's start with reason number 1. You need to establish the perfect aggressive deficit. Imagine that I could personally tell you exactly how much protein, carbs, and fats that you should be eating to go from, let's say, 44% body fat to 9.6% body fat, just like my client Harry did. And he dropped nearly 100 pounds easy doing this. And I've actually done that for you. So let's use my client Harry here as an example. By the way, I spent 4 months building this out for you guys. So Harry's age is 43, he's male. He started 270 pounds, height 5'6", training frequency 5 times per week. And his goal is we want him to lose fat fast. So we're gonna establish a negative 20% deficit. And I'm gonna choose 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to burn visceral fat faster. Now, I know some of you may say that might be too much protein for someone his size, but here's the logic with Harry. He's a big boy, meaning he loves to eat. The 270 grams of protein will stimulate a peptide called peptide YY. This satiety hormone will help him feel full. We also want to give his body more than enough building blocks to build muscle tissue, and this is going to be one of his biggest benefits into the future. His metabolism will also boost by digesting that protein because of the thermic effect of food. And this is exactly what we did that made dropping 100 pounds so easy for Harry. The people I say should consider eating less protein are those who either have kidney or liver issues. If you're a healthy individual, 1 gram or even more is perfectly fine. Now, you also see that we have established an aggressive caloric deficit because he is in a minus 640 calories through nutrition alone. Now, I like to shift the toggle to get his fats between 50 to 60 grams. And there we go at 57 grams because Harry is a bigger guy in the beginning. I want him to have more fats so that he has a wider range of foods. And this will also help with his hormonal balance. So these are the final macros: 2,557 calories, 270 protein, 57 grams of fat, and 240 carb. Keep watching. I'm gonna also give you the exact cardio protocol that you can just screenshot so that you can lose that 20 to 100 pounds. And I almost forgot. I've left this tool for you at sculptbyscience.com. You can go on your phone or on your computer, scroll down to precision calculator, and you can calculate your aggressive deficit. So just copy me. I built this tool just for you guys so that you can say, well, this is exactly how Dr. Mike would do it. Now, I'm gonna show you how to build a meal plan around the exact numbers, right? So we have part 1, and I promise you there's gonna be so many more golden nuggets that you've never seen anywhere. And I'm also gonna give you a list of foods that will help with losing that visceral fat. And there's scientific reasoning behind these foods. The first food is Greek yogurt. I recommend plain and unsweetened. It's packed with probiotics. This will boost your good gut bacteria, and it's also high in protein. The second one is kefir. It's like yogurt, but more drinkable, and it's diverse in probiotics. That's amazing for a thriving gut. Sauerkraut, fermented cabbage, it will strengthen your gut barrier, and this will also help with your digestion. Kimchi, it's a spicy fermented veggie. Don't knock it till you try it. Famous in South Korea, and it also adds amazing flavor. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. High in fiber and polyphenols. These will feed your good gut bacteria and also acts as antioxidants to reduce the inflammation that's also being caused by the visceral fat surrounding your organs. Chia seeds, it's fiber rich. It has the most amount of fiber per gram, and it's also smooth for your digestion and will keep you feeling fuller for longer. Now, for a protein source, we want to add salmon in there because it's rich in omega-3s. This will reduce your gut inflammation and improve your insulin sensitivity. When you hear that word, just know that your body's going to be using carbohydrates more efficiently for better fat burning. Spinach is going to act as a prebiotic fiber. This will also fuel your good gut bacteria. We want to have some almonds in there for healthy fats and fiber. This will also give you steady energy. Avocado as another good fat source for hormonal balance, stabilizing blood sugar and reducing fat storage. Chicken is going to be an amazing protein source, and whole eggs and egg whites. Nutrient dense protein, amazing for your gut lining. So let me show an example of an amazing 3-meal meal plan, and you guys can just copy this. And these are going to contain the gut fire foods. Now, all of this is scientifically backed. It's built for Harry to the line. Now, it follows all the macronutrients that I shared. Each meal has 3 desires. It has to be easy, it has to be repeatable, and it has to be enjoyable. Meal number 1 is going to be berry protein oats. Why this is an amazing food is that it's a powerhouse packed with probiotics from the kefir and the Greek yogurt. This will support your digestion, your microbiome health. You're going to get the prebiotics from the chia seeds and also from the berries to feed your good gut bacteria, and the protein from the whey and the yogurt. This will help you with building muscle tissue as well. I am putting how to prepare it and the recipe on the screen so you can take a screenshot so you can have some inspiration. Meal number 2 is going to be a chicken spinach wrap. And I've personally been eating this meal as a variation for almost a year. And I call this a maintenance meal because it makes me feel like I'm not on a diet, but it's packed with so many nutrients. So you just want lean chicken for protein. I highly recommend you prepare it in the air fryer. This way the chicken isn't dry and it's juicy, and you just add all the sauces you like. The spinach will act as a prebiotic and the kimchi as a probiotic. Try it. Meal number 3 is another meal I've been eating for almost a year. We want steak and pumpkin and berries on the side. Another staple for me. And this is what I do. I am so busy, but on a weekend, I go to my parents, I take all the chicken breast that I need, and I take all the steak that I need. And instead of putting it in the air fryer, I like to grill it so I have this barbecue flavor, and it just makes my protein sources taste amazing. Now, if you guys want me and my team of doctors to do all of this for you, I have built, in my personal opinion, the most sophisticated, scientifically built program in the world. We even have someone come to your house to pull bloods for us to get a full scope of what's happening under the hood. We're in your corner 24/7. We track everything with a smart ring to make the whole process seamless and put this on autopilot, and we guarantee the results. So if you're an executive, entrepreneur, doctor, or business owner, and you want to become a business athlete, drop 20 to 60 pounds, you can apply it Sculpt by Science. It's the first link in the description. But what we need to do now is pair technique 1 that I've just given you with technique 2, the double fasting approach. So one day in the week, I want you to do a 24-hour fast, and then 6 days in the week, I want you to have a more relaxed approach following the 16-8 fast. And I'll also answer the question that I get all the time of what can I drink in the fast? So let me explain. Every Sunday, you will do a 24-hour fast, but this is the trick. I want you to have your last meal at 8 p.m. on Sunday, and this will kickstart the clock. And you can break your fast 8 p.m. on Monday because 8 of those 24 hours are spent sleeping. So you're only really fasting for 16 hours, but it's 24. And there's a 2020 study to support this. In 6 weeks, 23 obese men, some with type 2 diabetes, did alternate day fasting. So they did 30-hour fasts every other day. And this led to a 12 to 13% reduction in visceral fat content combined with weight loss. They also decreased hepatic fat by 27 to 40%. Now, no significant changes occurred without weight loss, suggesting that this alternate day fasting does enhance fat loss when paired with an energy deficit. Now, the main goal in a fasted state is not to cause an insulin spike. So this is what you can drink in a fasted period. Number 1 will be water, still, sparkling. I highly recommend. My personal favorite is a black coffee, no sugar, no creamer. If that's a bit rough for you, you can add a non-nutritive sweetener like stevia. Maybe monk fruit is another option just to make it a little bit sweeter. You can have plain tea, black, green, or herbal are all amazing options. And these are the benefits, right? This is the logic. We know to burn a pound of fat, you need to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit. And we know that we can achieve this through calories in, versus calories out. So 0 calories in versus 3,500 calories out. And we're gonna do this through output, your basal metabolic rate, walking, and exercise. Now, if you've ever done a 24-hour fast, let me know what your experience is. Did you notice that you lost weight faster? Was it easy? Was it hard? And I think your story may inspire someone to try it. If you guys have heard me give this suggestion, let me know, did it change anything? Because I think that will inspire more people than what I'm just saying on this video. And my client Montino, who I got to hang out with personally, would do this every Sunday. And he noticed that he could get so much more work done because in his business days, he was just so much more focused. And there's a scientific explanation to this. He felt extremely motivated during those 24-hour fasts. He also told me, Mike, I feel so much more mentally clear. And it really felt like a reset for him hormonally, mentally, and physically. Now, these are the benefits scientifically. It improved his insulin levels. Fasting lowers insulin, enabling fat loss, making your body go from a fat storage mode to fat burning. And it will boost your insulin sensitivity, making your body more efficient at using the food when it gets it and controlling your blood sugar. The second reason why it's amazing is because of this autophagy increase, which is basically the body's process of clearing out and repairing damaged cells, because you're finally giving your body a chance to reset. And this is amazing for anti-aging, for disease control, and promoting cellular renewal and reducing the body's buildup of dysfunctional cellular parts. Number 3, it boosts human growth hormone. This will enhance your metabolism, your muscle maintenance, and help you burn fat faster. Imagine it like a turbo boost in a game. Number 4, it will reduce inflammation, improve your blood pressure, cholesterol, your triglycerides. And my clients who've dealt with any kind of chronic pain often say, hey, Mike, it's almost gone away just because they've consistently done the fasting. Number 5, it will elevate something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This promotes your brain's neuroplasticity, which means basically it's your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, and also it will improve your mental sharpness. And I like to describe BDNF as like a fertilizer for your brain. It will also help you with your gut health. It will modulate your microbiota. It will flush out the bad bacteria, and it will promote the growth of the good ones. Now, let's figure out how we can burn the 3,500 calories now that we're doing the 2 gut fire protocols and the alternate day fasting. So technique 3, the cardio to build visceral fat. Now my clients Trish and Brent, a couple that struggled for years, this was the magic touch for them. Visceral fat has one weakness. It responds incredibly well to fasted exercise. And I have 2 weapons that I like to use in a fasted state. It's formal and informal cardio. So let's talk about informal cardio first. This technique leverages your body's natural fat burning window specifically to target your visceral fat. Now for informal cardio, I'll tell my clients to do this, and I'll also explain why it works. On your health app on your device, it tells you how many steps you've been doing on a day-to-day. And yes, you may say it's not accurate, but it is inconsistently consistent. It's really a good indicator. And we're just gonna use this as a foundation. So open up any of the health app and look at what your monthly average is, right? And from your monthly average, I just want you to simply add 1,000 steps. So let's say your phone tells you that you had a 5,000 average for the month. From that day onwards, I want you to do 6,000. And after that week, bump it up to 7,000. But I want you to work your way up to 12,000 to 15,000 steps daily. And my advice is try and get your steps done in your fasted state to lose your visceral fat faster. And for those of you who say, hey, Dr. Mike, that takes too much time, let me crush that objection. First, if you don't do it, you're literally deciding not to live longer. And I'm gonna give you what I call my 10 informal cardio commandments. And guys, I'm working with you. I want you to win. So it's in your best interest to find a way to hit the 12 to 15K. So number 1, I want you to stand up for the last 5 minutes of every hour. So if you have a 12-hour work shift from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you just walk for the last 5 minutes of every hour, we know 10 minutes of walking equals 1,000 steps. You can get 6,000 steps from just doing that alone, right? You're halfway there. The second way you can do it is walking to the gym and back. If your gym is 15 minutes away, that's 30 minutes, that's 3,000. In between between your workout, you usually do about 20 sets in a usual workout, which means between every set, you rest for 1 minute, which means you really rest for 20 minutes. And I highly recommend using a 10 to 15 minute warm up on the treadmill before your workout to get your blood flowing going, right? And then another 10 to 15 minutes post workout. That's another 2,000 to 3,000 steps. Take the stairs when you can. Park your car further away from your office, from your gym, from your stores. Get a walking pad to put under the desk. I like getting a walking pad and watching TV. It is one of the best investments you can make. And if you're on your phone, I don't use my phone if I'm not walking. I also recommend for those of you who don't manage, just wake up 30 minutes earlier and just walk for 3,000 steps. And then, instead of watching Netflix with the family, go on walks instead. So we figured out informal cardio. Now we go on to the formal. And what we want to do for formal cardio that's amazing to lose your visceral fat faster is going to be zone 2 cardio. Zone 2 is the sweet spot for low to moderate intensity aerobic exercise. And the definition of zone 2 cardio is 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. And this is essentially where you can still have a conversation when you're doing this cardio and you're not huffing and puffing. There's this calculation you can do that's pretty close, or you can use a device. So this is the calculation. It's 220 minus your age. So let's say you're 30 years old. It's 220 minus 30. That's 190 multiplied by 0.7, which is 70%, right? So that will be the upper end. And for me, that's roughly 131 beats per minute. I do track zone 2 on my device, and activities like brisk walking, walking on an incline treadmill, cycling, rowing are perfect for this. Now, why is crushing zone 2 so important? For fat loss, it's essential to get rid of your visceral fat because your body switches to burning stored fat as its main energy source. It will crank up the fat oxidation with way more high intensity. Research also backs this. Studies show that it boosts mitochondrial density in your muscles, making you a fat burning machine even at rest. It will also improve your insulin sensitivity, and it will slash this fat storing. And it lets you burn calories longer without really needing to do more cardio. So paired with a fasted cardio, and this is gonna supercharge losing the visceral fat. The final reason why I want you guys to do zone 2 cardio is that it improves something called your VO2 max. It's essentially how efficient your body can use oxygen. And this in science is one of the main indicators for longevity, for how long you're gonna live, and also what your health span is, right? You don't want a long lifespan. You don't want to be 100 years old but bedridden. You want to be 100 years old and still playing with your great grandkids. Now, I recommend doing this 3 to 5 times a week, fasted if possible, alongside your plan that I've given you. And I am going to give you something special because you've stayed here so long with me. I am going to give you the exact cardio routine that you need to follow. And actually, this is the cardio routine that I gave Harry. So in week 1, he did 10,000 steps with no formal cardio. In week 2, he did 10,000 steps with 2 sessions of formal cardio at 15 minutes. So 2 by 15. Week 3, 11,000 steps with 2 by 15. So he did 2 sessions, 15 minutes. So maybe on a Monday, he did 15 minutes of the Stairmaster, and then on a Wednesday, he did another 15 minutes. Week 4, 11K 2 by 15. Week 5, 12K 3 by 20. Week 6, 12K 3 by 20. Week 7, 14K 4 by 20. And all the rest of the weeks are on there. So you can copy exactly what I did with Harry. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to win. Now, if you want to accelerate this, you can spend more time doing formal cardio. So for me personally, when I've gotten to single digit body fat, because my main priority was fat loss, I've gone as high as 7 sessions of 60 minutes. For those of you who are still here, as a thank you for supporting me, I created this go-to visceral fat PDF with all the information I've shared with you. The nutrition, the training, the cardio, it's all in there. All I ask is 2 things. Leave the video with a thumbs up and share this with someone you think is gonna find it useful because you want them to be healthy and you want them to be in the best shape of their lives. Now, let's move on into technique number 4. Sleep to burn visceral fat. Step number 4 with being able to get your visceral fat gone is you need to focus on stress and sleep. And tip number 1 that nobody ever talks about is that you need to reset your internal clock so that 16 hours later you feel sleepy. And that's through the hormone melatonin. And getting direct sunlight into your eyes resets your body's internal clock so that in 16 hours from now, when you're supposed to go to bed, you start feeling sleepy, and you need to get into this routine, right? So direct sunlight exposure, you don't need to see into the sunlight, is tip number one. Let's go into what I call my 10-3-2-1 method with getting the perfect night's sleep to lose visceral fat. 10 hours before bed, no more caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours, meaning after having a cup of coffee, half of it is still in your bloodstream after 6 hours. So if you want to get a good night's sleep where you're restful and you're ready to go to bed, you need to stop drinking caffeine at least 10 hours before, so we make sure all of the caffeine is out of your bloodstream. 10. Let's go into the 3. 3 hours before bed, you want to have your last meal. So if you're trying to go to bed at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. has to be your last meal. And the main reason for that is, although you're done chewing, you don't want your stomach, your small intestine, and your colon still digesting. It's going to keep you up and you're not going to get restful sleep. 2 hours before bed, you want to stop all liquids. And the reason for that is this is going to make you wake up at night to go to the toilet, which is going to disrupt your sleep. So I recommend, if you must drink something, just sip just to quench thirst, but no more liquids 2 hours before bed. 1 hour before bed, you want to stop any screen exposure. The reason for it is the light coming from your screen or your TV has the same blue light that comes from the sun. So your brain thinks that it's still daylight outside. Now, if you're someone who does need to be replying to messages, or you do want to watch a Netflix show with your family, I highly recommend wearing blue light blocking glasses. They're amber color like this one. You kind of look like Cyclops. But the big benefit is that this blocks any blue light from going into your eye, and your body's able to produce melatonin. I make all of my clients wear these. Honestly, once the sun starts setting, they say their eyes are on fire. Have you ever been tired and you know you're ready for bed? This is exactly what this does. On top of that, another big recommendation is meditation. Meditation puts you more in a rested state. And the easiest way I can describe meditation is just focusing on one thing. So you can journal and write down 3 things that you're grateful for. This will put you more in a relaxed state. Or you can just focus on your breathing. And an easy way to do it is for 5 minutes is breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. They call this box breathing, and it will bring down your heart rate and put you in a more relaxed, calm state. And that is how we lose visceral fat the 4th way and the smartest way. But number 5 is by far the most important. Technique 5, what to cut out. You want to cut out all processed foods, chips, sodas, fast foods, anything with added sugar and trans fats. If there's foods in your home with more than 5 to 10 ingredients, especially the ones that you wouldn't make yourself at home, it's probably ultra processed. And these are your visceral fat's best friends. This will spike insulin and also spike inflammation. There's a 2025 randomized control trial that was released by Nature Medicine, and it showed that switching to minimally processed foods reduced visceral fat in 8 weeks, even without calorie restriction. And this is why it's so important that we give your body a reason not to store any visceral fat, because you're fighting one fight on one end. You don't want to be adding visceral fat to it. The second thing I want you to cut out in technique 5 is alcohol. Alcohol is empty calories. To give you an example, in 1 gram of fat, there are 9 calories. In 1 gram of alcohol, there are 7 calories. Would you drink a can of fat? Probably not. And it also hits your liver hard. It will promote fat storage around the organs, especially visceral fat. When you consume alcohol, your body stops really breaking down fat for the next 16 to 36 hours because your liver switches to fully focusing on removing this toxin from your body, which is alcohol. Now, I'm not going to get onto a speech about why not you shouldn't drink. If our main goal is to get rid of the visceral fat, we need to focus on reducing our alcohol intake. And there's a 2020 study in obesity science that is linked to alcohol and visceral fat in both men and women. It spikes cortisol, disrupts sleep, and makes craving junk food even more. So those are my 5 visceral fire techniques. Use all 5 of them for maximum benefit. But if you use just even one of them, you will have a significant drop in visceral fat. Imagine all of this on top of the organs in your body, causing inflammation, releasing cytokines. My recommendation is start with 1, then maybe add the second technique. If you want maximum benefits, add both of them. And I'm gonna leave the video here. For the next 48 hours from releasing this video, I want to help as many of you as possible who can't work with me one-on-one. So comment anything down below. And if it's beyond the 48 hours, just comment down below and I'll do my best to answer in a future video, if not get to your comment. And if you're interested in having me help you drop the 20 to 60 pounds, get all of your energy, your confidence back, and you want to work with a team of doctors, I invite you to apply to work with Sculpt by Science. We are a premium service. We work with executives, entrepreneurs, business owners, and if you aren't that, it's fine. Just watch the rest of my videos. All the information is there. This is for those who want a direct line to getting their problem solved. But I'll leave the video here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Your coach, Dr. Mike.